Stop wasting your credits. 2 years ago, Wargaming listed the first ever black market sale in World of Tanks, and at that moment in time, I did not have enough credits to buy everything I wanted to, and there was a lot of rare vehicles that were for sale. After that moment, I decided I would never not have enough credits for another black market sale. Right before the black market event of 2021, I had in my account over 221 million credits with another 126 million available in consumables. Combined, my account wealth would have been over 348 million credits. And in this video, I'm going to show you the strategies I use to build out my account wealth in World of Tanks. Yes, I realize that my account now shows 168 million credits. Bear with me. The Qilin was not an inexpensive tank. There's two parts to the strategy. First, you need to maximize the amount of credits you build, and second, you have to minimize the amount of credits you spend. Unfortunately, the second part requires you to start with some amount of credits to get you rolling. But once you have enough credits to activate number 2, you'll realize that you can definitely save a lot more credits than you ever thought possible. So let's get into the specific strategies I suggest you use in order to start building your credits, and secondly, start saving more. How to build up your credits. So there's a couple of easy things you can do right off the bat to fill your account with a few million credits, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. You may not be aware, but every time you research a new tech tree vehicle and you start adding new modules to it, the old modules aren't sold when you sell that vehicle. So you might have a ton of stuff in your garage where you can sell. If you at the top click depot, and then at the left hand side click modules and shells to sell, you'll see that I only have one module in here, and that's because I actually like to switch between the two T54 guns. One's higher DPM, one is better accuracy, and everything else is gone. That's because I've already sold it all. That's part of the reason that I have so many credits in my account. I can almost guarantee if you've never done this before and you've been filling out tech trees for years, you've probably got tons of modules in here just ready to liquidate. Go in here and sell everything you can find that you don't have a use for. Sometimes you may not realize this, but when Wargaming is running events, they reward you with decals and emblems that you've never used before. Those exist still in your account, and they can be sold for credits. So at the bottom of the screen, if you click exterior on any of your tanks and then head over to custom style and then emblems, you'll notice at the bottom with the scroll wheel, there's these little squares. If you click on these squares, it'll take you to different elements, but here I've got 74 American flags, and if I right click, I can sell them all for 10,000 credits a piece. If I add all the flags just that I'm looking at down here on my screen, that's just under 1 million credits in just those 3 emblems. So definitely head over here, and when you're done with the emblems, try the inscriptions. You might have some extra inscriptions you can get rid of. Now, you may run across an element like this where you can't sell it. When you right click, it's grayed out. And that's because some events that are related to like Halloween events or Christmas or holiday events, they will reward you with elements that cannot be sold, and this is one of them. However, if you head over to decals, you may also find some decals that you can get rid of. And here's the really cool part about decals. A lot of them are worth even more. So if you right click on these ones, I can sell these crowns for 26,000 credits. So I guarantee if you go through here and start getting rid of any of these styled elements that you don't plan to use, you'll be making a few million credits easy. You've probably already done this, but I just want to put it out there because it is a strategy I'm using. Sell your tech tree tanks that aren't fun. I suggest you actually hang on to any tech tree tanks that when they're fully researched and you're thinking, man, this is enjoyable, like the T-29 American Heavy Tank. Keep those in your garage. When Crew 2.0 comes out, if it does come out, you may be able to move crews around a lot more easier or assign more tanks to multiple crews, which means you might be easier to play some of those smaller tech tree tanks and go back for a little bit of nostalgia. However, there are some tech tree tanks that are just no fun, regardless of what equipment or consumables or modules you have on them. Looking at you, Tier 8 Skoda. What I recommend you do is sell those suckers, get them out of your garage, take those credits back and say, see ya, never want to play you again. Next, what you should do is when you're grinding credits or you're low on credits and trying to earn a little bit, or if you're just grinding through the game, you should use the new Create Platoon tool. If you find some players to add to a platoon, you can definitely earn some more credits. So when I'm in a platoon, you'll notice at the top that when I'm playing with friends in this platoon, I'm earning 15% more credits. If you throw that on top of premium time and a premium tank, that can be tens of thousands of credits per match. You should definitely do this. And if you don't have any friends that play World of Tanks, go find some. Go watch some streamers like me. Shout out to me. In the little right-hand side, you'll see my little link to Twitch, or down in the description. If you go to Twitch and start watching World of Tanks streamers, you'll connect with some of those people in chat. You'll develop friendships. And let me tell you, those people love to play World of Tanks with other people that think like them and enjoy the same communities. So I recommend you find yourself some friends, or use the new search function that they just introduced in the game and play with strangers. This is a great way to add another 15% to your credit income every match. Next, you should consider joining a clan. Wait a second, 13. I'm bad at the game. No one's gonna want me. Wrong. There are tons of social clans out there that all they do is just mess around in the game. What's the point of joining a social clan? Well, let me show you. They've added some new features to the clan functionality. If I go into my clan here, you'll see some really interesting stuff come up. First of all, when the clan builds out their strongholds, they have this financial unit, and this financial unit produces credit boosters. And the clan can turn on credit boosters practically every night, and they can continuously make these credit boosters as long as they have the industrial resources to build them. Wait a second, 13. We don't play competitive. How do we get industrial resources? Let me tell you, kind viewer, that's easier than ever. If I go back to my clan details, you'll see this new tour of duty thing has been added to World of Tanks. What this means is me as an individual clan member contribute to the clan's resources by just playing the game. As I complete these missions throughout the week, and they refresh every week, the clan generates tons of resources from just playing the game. And at the bottom is the clan's overall progression, and when the clan has maximized it, you also get more resources. Look at this. This goes beyond credits. Do this. Go find a social clan and just play. You don't even have to platoon with them. You don't have to talk to them. Just enjoy the passive bonuses. Like here, I've got blueprints, training documents. You get camouflages in here. You can get free camos. There's no reason not to join a clan. There is so much free stuff in here. Do it. And in fact, you could probably even sell those camouflages for even more credits. There's no reason not to do this. If you're having trouble finding a social clan, again, I recommend you go on Twitch, find some communities you're enjoying, find out what clans they're part of, and say, hey, listen, I just want to join a social clan to get some of these passive benefits. A lot of them will say, climb aboard. In fact, it is so worth it that there is enough active players in the clan G, and I know the whole meme is G is dead. There's enough active players that we maximize these resources every day, and we have so many resources. Our financial unit is producing so many of these credit boosters, we just can't run out. We literally run credit boosters practically every night. If you have a social clan with some active commanders in it, let me tell you, you can go pretty much every night with a credit booster running, and it's relatively easy to get it going. And if you're having trouble and thinking to yourself, I can't find a social clan, start one. Be the clan you want to exist in World of Tanks. Start inviting people in. If you're looking for people to join your clan to start generating these resources for you, connect on Twitch. There are so many places to start. You can go onto the forum message boards, tons of places. But these credit boosters, when they're running, and let me hover over mine so you can see, that's earning me another 30% per match. So if I take 30% per match, combine it with 15% platoon members, combine it with a premium tank, combine it with premium time, and if you're fortunate enough to have some of these, if you go to your personal reserves and you have credit boosters of your own, those all stack. You're looking at 50% for personal, 30% for clan, 15% for platoon. You're earning almost double the credits per match, include premium time, include a premium tank. I know those are paid, but even without the paid items, you can still make so many credits by just exercising those things. And when you're maximizing your credit income like that, you start generating a lot of credits. You can then start using those credits to save even more credits. This is like that moment where people say, make your money work for you. How to avoid spending too many credits. Okay, for real, I'm going to start with the item that nobody wants to talk about, but it is one of the most important. I don't want it to sound like, hey, get good, because that's not really the takeaway here. What you should hear me say is use premium shells only when you need to. The cost difference can be enormous. Like on the Foch, a standard shell is 1,500 credits. A premium shell is 6,800 credits. Think about if you could spend less on premium shells, you'll make more per match. And let me tell you, when you start using your shells efficiently and you have all of those bonuses going, you'll earn so much more. If you avoid spending on this premium shell, you'll save 5,240 credits. That may not seem like that much, but let's think about it this way. If I just saved 5,240 credits and that gets multiplied by a personal booster of 50%, multiplied by a clan booster of 30%, multiplied by a platoon booster of 15%, holy moly, that's a lot of credits. If you listen, I'm not telling you to not use premium shells, because when I play the game, when people watch me on Twitch, one of the things I always say while I'm playing is I say I'm switching to premium shells for this particular reason. And I always have generally a pretty good reason why I'm switching to premium shells, even though they may be less credit efficient. Sometimes you need them in order to perform better in battle. Always switch to them when you need to. The key is go back, switch out of them. Don't use premium shells unless you need to. And when you start doing that, you'll earn way more credits per battle. Okay, the next one is probably the most important tip, okay? So hello, everybody out there that's been watching this video passively, tab back into the video, because this is probably the most important tip that I can give you in the video. When consumable sales happen, buy them, okay? Let me head over to my depot over here, and let's go over to the consumables area. You'll notice, if you take a little bit of a gander here, I have a lot of consumables. I have 2,900 auto extinguishers. I have 2,300 large repair kits. I have 2,700 large first aid kits, 7,700 small repair kits, 8,100 small first aid kits. When a consumable sale happens, these are always 50% off. They're normally 20,000 credits. When they're on sale, they are 10,000 credits for the premium kits. Now, the regular kits are normally 3,000, and when they're on sale, they go down to 1,500. 13, why would I want to buy all these? Here's the deal. If you buy all of these at half off, and then later down the road, when the consumable sale is over, you can then sell them back at half of their cost, which is the exact cost you spent to buy them in the first place. There is literally no downside to spending all of your credits on consumables during a sale. So let's say down the road, I'm a little short on credits. I got to put some together to buy a tank, to put some equipment on it, whatever. Sell the consumables as long as there's not a sale going on, and you'll get all of the money back that you put into it. Now, here's the big deal on this. When you start using the consumables you've already bought in that game, instead of spending 20,000 on a consumable, I spent 10. And that 10 that I saved is now bonused with a 50% credit booster, a 30% clan booster, another 15% platoon booster. Are you starting to understand what I'm talking about here? Even if you use small kits, that's still 1,500 credits in a tier 8 match multiplied by another 40-50%. That's just like nuts. You'd be crazy not to do this. Next time there's a consumable sale, I recommend you take almost every single credit you have and buy at least small kits, small repair kits, and then if you're into it, use the large stuff, buy them all up. Side note, I highly recommend you only use automatic fire extinguishers, because standard fire extinguishers just make you bleed hit points in a game. If you think about an automatic extinguisher, how often are you set on fire? Once every few games? Depends on the tank you're playing, right? Don't play those Russian matchboxes without an auto extinguisher. But let me tell you something. If you exit a game that you are never set on fire for, your automatic extinguisher doesn't get consumed. It can literally last dozens of games. You should absolutely stock up on auto extinguishers and start running them on all of your vehicles. It'll save you a lot of hit points in the long run, which means more damage, more kills, more credits earned. Speaking of sales, Wargaming also does sales on equipment. Now, with Equipment 2.0 out, all of the lower tier pieces of equipment now make sense when you buy them. Tier 1 or tier 5 pieces of equipment are way less expensive. You don't have to buy like a tier 10 worth of tank just to put equipment on a tier 5, right? So that makes a lot more sense. But what I suggest you do is think about down the road the tech tree tanks that you're grinding down and buying those pieces of equipment you know you're going to need later on, so that when you finally do get those vehicles, you have equipment ready and you paid half price for it. This is less important than the consumables because it's not multiplied by after battle results, but it can still save you millions of credits, especially at tier 10. If you're getting ready to buy a few tier 10s and you can stock up on a few pieces of those top tier pieces of equipment, you can save a lot when they're half off. Speaking of those top tier vehicles, why pay full price when you don't have to? A tier 10 vehicle is usually over 6 million credits. If you can get that for 10% off, you're saving 1 million credits practically. What I recommend you do, and this is really only for those accounts like mine, where I have tons and tons of tanks and I have no reason to be grinding through a line very, very quickly. When I unlock a tier 9 or a tier 10, if I'm bored, maybe I'll buy it. But if I'm not bored or not eager to pick up that tank, like the Sheridan, like the ST2, if I'm not super excited about a vehicle like that, I'll just wait for it to be on sale. Tech tree sales happen a handful of times a year. On top of that, you can get sales during the holiday ops. Usually they'll give you one full tech tree worth of sales from tier 2 to tier 10. You can apply those to any vehicles in the garage. I recommend that you take full advantage of that and apply those discounts on vehicles you plan on purchasing in the future. So if you can hold off on the really expensive vehicles in the game, it's best to buy them when they're on sale. But I would say don't do that at the detriment of your excitement in the game. If you're super stoked about picking up that next tier 10 and you don't want to wait months on end for a sale, just buy it. Don't wait. But if you're like me and you could take it or leave the Sheridan, just wait for the darn thing to go on sale. Wow, 13. These are all excellent tips. Now, I do have a little bit of money. I'm enjoying this game a lot. I'd like to spend a little bit of money on the game, but how do I maximize my value when I'm buying some stuff for the game? First off, I would highly recommend buying 1 or 2 premium tanks that fit your favorite play style, and that's key. You don't want to buy a premium tank even if it's touted and amazing and really good by all the YouTubers. If it's not a tank style that you enjoy playing, don't get it. You're not going to enjoy it, or you're going to get really frustrated very quickly. Even if it's not the best tank, you should pick up a tank that you think, or get rentals for tanks that you think may be a good fit for your play style. 13, I'm not sure what is good for my play style. Well, this is what I suggest. I'm going to put a link in the description below for the WattNA YouTube channel. Every week on Friday, they put out a video, and usually in that video is a watcher code. And sometimes that watcher code comes with a tier 8 premium rental for 3 days. That means pretty much every weekend, if you really wanted to, you would have a free tier 8 premium you could play through a whole weekend. I recommend you take advantage of that, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Now, for all those other free-to-play players out there, there is another website. I'll put that in the description as well. It is called tankrewards.com. Currently, it's on hiatus. I know the video might be a little early, but at some point in the near future, it's supposed to come back. And in tankrewards.com is an opportunity to earn lots of lower tier premium tanks. And some of them can be good to pick up, like a T-3485M. I know in the past, I have also seen the M10 Panther, which is one of my favorite lower tier premium tanks to play. And when these come up on those sales, I suggest you pick them up. And tier 6s can be especially good, and here's why. If you are in one of those social clans and you decide to run strongholds and you have a credit booster going, that credit booster is multiplicative, meaning it's smaller for random battles, but much larger for strongholds. You get some friends together for some strongholds, you pop one of those clan credit boosters, and everybody piles into some good tier 6 tanks like the Cromwell B, and you just start playing as a wolf pack against enemy teams. You'll be able to mow through a lot of battles very, very quickly, earning 70% bonus on the credits that you earn. This is a great way to earn credits with lower tier vehicles and lower tier premiums. And here's the other one. I recommend you use your money for a little bit of premium time. It sounds a little nutty, but stay with me, okay? Premium time increases the number of credits you earn in a match by 50%. If you run premium time, a clan booster, a personal booster, and play in a platoon, that's 4 additive multipliers that increase your credits a ton per match. Premium time is a great way to help you mow through some of these tech tree lines a little bit faster and get a lot more credits into your account, making each battle a little more worth it. And if you're a free-to-play player, I respect it. If you don't want to spend on premium time, that's fine. But if you do want to get some premium time and you don't want to pay money, there is some ways that you can do that. Go play some of the clan tournaments. Tournaments will reward you with gold, and you can use the gold to come up here to want premium time, and you can extend it with in-game gold. And you can earn quite a bit of gold doing those tournaments. I'll try and find a link to the tourneys and put it in the description below. But if you're a free-to-play player, go find some of those tournaments to participate in, earn yourself some gold, and use that gold as some premium time. The tank battle mode that is so good for earning credits. Let's say you've got a few little bits of gold saved up, and I recommend you put them to good use. And here's when. Play Frontline. When you have a few tier 8 premium tanks, if you've got some premium time and you've purchased some consumables on sale, and you run all of those boosters I just talked about and go play a Frontline match, it becomes even better proposition. And here's why. When you play a premium tank in Frontline, you get all the bonuses of that premium tank, number one. Number two, you're only facing tier 8s. And when you're facing tier 8s, the need for premium shells goes down quite a bit. Number three, when you die in that vehicle and respawn in another premium tank and die in that premium tank, you can respawn in your first vehicle if enough time has elapsed. When you respawn in that first vehicle, you don't have to keep paying for the consumables in that vehicle, meaning you only pay one set of consumables per tank per Frontline match. If you can go a whole match with the same tanks, you can save a load of time and credits in those consumables. If I'm playing essentially 3 games worth of matches with 2 games of consumables, multiply that by all of my clan boosters and all of my personal reserve boosters, I'm making tons and tons of credits playing Frontline. Hey guys, post-production 13 here. I forgot to mention earlier when I was recording this that win or lose, you still make a butt ton of credits in Frontline. In random battles, if you lose, you'll make less credits. So Frontline, win or lose, worth your time. And I suggest that you do the same. And if you're one of those free-to-play players, find those tournaments, pick up some gold, save the gold for when Frontline comes around, and deploy it into some premium time to multiply it even more. If you use all the strategies that I just suggested, let me tell you, you will notice a lot more credits in your account. Guys, it has been an absolute pleasure making this video for you. If you found this useful, share it with somebody. Send the link to a friend. That helps me a lot. Give a like in the comments. Tell me more tips. I'm always looking for more tips for this game. Go down in those comments if you have a suggestion on how to save a little bit of dough in the game. Somebody's going to read it and somebody's going to find it useful. Please do that. Anyways, I'm out of here. Please consider checking out my Twitch channel. It is right over here on screen, and I hope to see you live. I am there usually every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night. I'll catch you guys on the battlefield. The eyes glow and it breathes fire every time it shoots. And it's really shiny. This is literally the dumbest tank I've ever seen. Why did I spend 50 million credits on a 5A clone that's shiny? I don't care. I don't care. I love this thing. This tank is so cool.